Vedanta is the real science of all religions. And let me answer it in a personal way. I was not interested in Christianity, in the teachings of Jesus, until I encountered the teachings of Vedanta, and I could understand them in a deeper way. Jesus teaches us how to attain freedom, just as all the world teachers teach us. Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, they have come to this world to lead us to freedom. And Jesus is one of the great manifestations of the divine, one of the divine teachers, world teachers, who not only teaches us how to live, but also provides in himself a path or a door. Sri Ramakrishna likens the incarnation of the divine, the incarnation of God, to a hole in a wall. He says, picture an infinite field of bliss. But there's a wall across it and you can't see the field. That's our condition. There's an infinite field of utter freedom and bliss, but it's veiled off from us through ignorance. What is the incarnation? The incarnation is a hole in that wall. Through that hole we can see the infinite field on the other side and even pass through it, enter the field. So the teachings of Vedanta actually help a Christian to be a better Christian and a Jew to be a better Jew. It doesn't ask us to give up anything, rather it completes our understanding. Let's take the Beatitudes, teachings of Jesus, one of the which are right in line with the teachings of Vedanta. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. This is the basic teaching of Vedanta also. The divine is here, the divine is real. We can't see it because our hearts are not pure. We're filled with confusion. We're thinking that we are a mere body. We're thinking that this world is ultimately real and that we're going to get peace and joy here. We are going to get peace and joy here when we see it as it really is, which is a manifestation of the divine. And that happens when we purify our hearts, when we clear our hearts of all the dross, all the anger, all the hatred, all the desire, unholy desire, all the greed, all the jealousy. When we clear all that off, we uncover the divine, which is shining within and shining without. So we become truly blessed as we see God.
Om Tadekam smaramas tadekam bhajamah tadekam jagat sakshi rupam namamah sadekam nidhanam niralambamisham bhavam bodhipotam sharanyam vrajamah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. On that alone do we meditate. That alone do we worship. To that alone, the witness of the universe, do we bow. To that one who is our sole eternal support, the self-existent Lord, the raft to safety across the ocean of this world, do we come for refuge. Om, peace, peace, peace. Good morning. This beautiful morning. And I would like to request us to take a moment of silence to hold all the conflicts that are in the world, raging in the world right now, in that mood of peace, which is just invoked by this profound opening song and our opening prayer. That mood of that feeling of peace that we feel deep within ourselves. Let us hold the world in that peace. Because our topic is, blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are the peacemakers. What does it mean to be a peacemaker? And I personally have long been troubled by this kind of paradox. It is a paradox, this seeming paradox, that on the one hand, our sages sing the song of peace. The scriptures proclaim that peace that passeth all understanding. That is, the very nature of reality is that peace, it flowing in the heart of all things. And it would seem that we can access that peace. It would seem possible that we could manifest that peace in this world, that it would be possible to provide safety and security and nourishment and raiment and shelter to all beings. For every human being, we have the technology, we have the resources to do this, as humanity as a whole. And yet, the world is burning with wars and conflicts. Burning with hunger and thirst. Burning with anger and lust and greed. Why? Why this paradox? How can we understand it? We value the ideal of peace so highly. We all proclaim that we want peace. Who doesn't want peace? It's the most cherished and honored award that is given in the world. What is it? Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel Peace Prize. This is the most honored award, and yet we practice it so little. So the war seems like the absolute height of insanity. We spend billions of dollars to destroy countries and kill tens, even hundreds of thousands, even millions of other human beings. For what? I looked it up. The Iraq War from 2003 to 2010, the cost to the United States alone, estimated at $1 to $3 trillion. I can't put my brain around how much that is. That includes all the extra costs associated with war, like medical care for all the veterans, etc. That's just U.S. cost. Over 1 million deaths. It's a staggering, incomprehensible loss of life and property, and staggering financial resources expended to drop all those bombs. A so-called smart bomb costs $40,000 to $230,000 each. There's nothing smart about that. Missiles fired from planes, air-to-air missiles, $45,000 to $4 million each. I get to thinking, what if we spent just a fraction of that? What if we decided, okay, we're going to spend a tenth of that on sending food to maybe there's a country where you're having a conflict. What if we spent a tenth of that and sent food and sent economic advisors and built some schools and built some hospitals and trained the local people in medicine and agriculture? And then I'm reminded of another of Sri Ramakrishna's favorite songs. It goes, "O Mother, this is your marketplace of madness, of craziness. Kapar haat bajar mato der kapar haat bajar." Goes like that. Kapar haat bajar means like a marketplace, and it's absolutely crazy. Mother, this is your crazy marketplace. Sometimes it really seems like that. It's mad. Sri Ramakrishna would say, everybody has some madness. Everybody is mad. Some people are mad for money. Some people are mad for power, for position, for pleasure, for praise, for name and fame. And then he would tell his disciples, you be mad for God. You be mad for God. That the very nature of this world is one where we have duality. And duality means we will have good and we will have bad. We will have peace and we will have conflict. We will have happiness and we will have misery. We will have hot and we will have cold. We will have wet and we will have dry. Duality means we have these pairs of opposites. We Vedantists, in every difficulty, ought to ask the subjective question, why do I see that? Why can I not conquer this with love? What a bold question. In every difficulty, Swamiji says, we Vedantists, we students of Vedanta, ought to ask the subjective question, ought to ask ourselves, why do I see this? Why do I see this problem? Why am I having this conflict? Why can I not solve this difficulty with love? Why can I not overcome this problem I'm having through the power of love rather than through the power of fighting that? And that's one reason why I love Swami Vivekananda so much, because in the end, he always comes back to love. He always comes back to love. In every difficulty, the idea of blessed are the peacemakers was taught to us by another great teacher, speaking with his intimate disciples on a hill by the Sea of Galilee. And he told them, blessed are the peacemakers. One of the Beatitudes, of course, from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And it's really a tremendous call to all seekers of truth, all seekers of God, all seekers of peace. Be blessed. Attain supreme joy and peace. How? By being a peacemaker. It's a beatitude. It translates as supreme happiness. Bliss, ananda, which Vedanta says is the very nature of our being, the very nature of the divine, is bliss, infinite joy. And he gives us actually a beautiful model for spiritual life in these 8 Beatitudes. 8 blessed are those who. And what are they? I think many of us have heard them. Some of us have studied them deeply, perhaps. Let's just remind ourselves about all of them. From this, the teachings for his intimate disciples. He gathered his close disciples together and taught them this. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons and daughters of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. At first, they seem completely counterintuitive, like all these things, poor in spirit, meek, mourn. What's blessed about all those things? To be meek. Shouldn't we be strong? Vedanta also tells us to be strong. Well, let's look a little more. I think what I take from these, how I'm inspired by these is, first, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven, of course, in Jesus' language means really attaining that realization of that infinite consciousness and bliss, which lies at the root of everything, which is God, which is our true nature. And poor in spirit, we recognize our spiritual poverty. I'm reminded of Sri Ramakrishna's prayer when he says, he would pray like this very often to teach us how to pray. I don't want anything. I don't want anything. I don't want material things. I don't want name and fame. I don't want creature comforts. I don't even want psychic powers. I just want love for you, O Lord. I just want love for you, O Mother. And Mother, I don't know how to worship. I haven't done tremendous meditation. I can't meditate. I don't know you. I don't really have love for you. Please give me love. That's all I need. That's the poor in spirit. We recognize our lack. And what is our real lack? That we don't have God. We don't know God yet. And then we mourn naturally. Sri Ramakrishna says people shed jugs full of tears for their families, for money, for name and fame, for a job, for a position. Jugs full of tears. Who weeps for God? How blessed is he or she who can turn that longing to God and weep for God. What a blessing it is to weep for God. Why? Because when that deep longing comes for God, it is sure to be fulfilled. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Sri Ramakrishna says, when we get that longing, we do realize, we touch the divine, we see God, we attain that supreme blessedness. So blessed are we when we mourn for God. Blessed, and why? When we long for God, we find God. When we knock, the door shall be opened. And blessed are the meek. This may be a difficult one to understand, because meek tends to suggest we are weak and humble and all of that. Well, humility, it doesn't mean having a low opinion of ourselves. I love this definition. To be truly humble means to have no opinion about myself. Not a low opinion of myself, but no opinion of myself. This is the true humility. What is the obstacle? This big I that thinks so much of myself. So humility. And to be meek is really to be gentle, to practice not harming others. That actually takes tremendous strength. It's much easier if someone hits me, it's much easier for me to strike a blow in return than to restrain that impulse. It takes tremendous strength. And it is that when we are able to restrain that impulse, even when we say we would be able to deliver a blow in return, and yet we restrain it, then we start to become peacemakers. Blessed are the merciful. To feel for others. Swami Vivekananda called on us to feel for others. Can you feel for others? And our Holy Mother Sarada Devi, she calls on us all to make the world our own. If we want peace of mind, make the world our own. Feel that we are one with everybody, that everybody is our own relative. We are so deeply connected. To start to touch that deep connection, start to realize it, start to shed our false identification with nation and language and color of our skin and religion and all these things, and touch that core of who we are, which is one light shining in all hearts. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Sri Ramakrishna would say, the pure mind, the pure intellect, and the pure self, our true self, are one. When the mind is completely purified, it simply transmits that infinite light of the self, and we know who we are. Swami Vivekananda used to say, if all teachings, spiritual teachings of the world were lost, and this one teaching remained, the world could still be saved. Blessed are the pure in heart. Then blessed are the peacemakers. It's an act, it suggests something active, doesn't it? We have to make peace. It doesn't just happen. On the one hand, peace is the very foundation of our being. And yet, to manifest that, to understand it, takes tremendous work. And when we can do that, we are called the sons and daughters of God. Interesting, usually the translation is given as the children of God. But actually, we're all children of God. But to be a son of God, to be a daughter of the divine, suggests that we ourselves are reflecting those qualities of divinity. If we have hatred against even one person, we cannot love God. That's a pretty strong statement. If we hate even one person in this world, we cannot love God. Why? Because all are children of God. The same, that God whom we are trying to love shines in the heart of even the wicked person. Covered up maybe by a lot of darkness, but shining there. Blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Sri Ramakrishna emphasized that the importance of truthfulness in our spiritual life. In this age, he used to say, truthfulness is the spiritual practice, is the fundamental spiritual practice. Be truthful. Be truthful to your heart, be truthful to yourself, be truthful in your dealings, in every way. And it's tremendous, and it is not easy. And it can also lead to persecution when we speak the truth. So these are the Beatitudes. Blessed, we are asked to Jesus calls on us to be blessed, to attain that blessedness through these 8 practices, these ways of being, this kind of striving for perfection. And right after the Beatitudes, what does he tell us? You are the light of the world. Let your light shine. Let your light shine before others. If you put a lamp on a stand, you don't put it under a bushel, right? You put it on the stand. Let your light shine. So are we called to be peacemakers? I think every Vedantist, in a sense, is called to be a peacemaker. Swamiji asks us, do you feel for others? If you do, you are growing in oneness. You are growing in oneness. If you do not feel for others, you may be the most intellectual giant ever born, but you will be nothing. You are but dry intellect, and you will remain so. Perhaps some of you have seen this beautiful quote from Swami Ranganathananda, one of our previous presidents of the Ramakrishna order, an amazing orator and spiritual teacher, and I had the blessing of meeting him at our headquarters at Belur Mutt. And he asks, how do you measure spiritual progress? How do you measure your spiritual growth? Am I growing spiritually? He asks, are you growing spiritually? Can you love others? Can you feel oneness with others? Have you peace within yourself? And do you radiate it around you? That is called spiritual growth.